from the Shepherd School, and today I've got my little red, we're going to mess with meat apron on, and we're going to make some jerky. We're going to make our second kind of jerky, which is a Slim Jim type meat stick jerky out of ground beef. Okay, to make the beef stick type, use ground beef, and this one, unlike my sirloin that I bought at the store because I didn't want to use my quarter cow meat, this ground beef comes from a bulk purchase of a quarter of a cow that I got from networking with some friends of mine who happen to know a guy that raised cows and had his own slaughter for his own use. So we went in together and all bought, you know, parts of one of his cows. It made it a lot cheaper. And you also know what you're getting, because the farmer was doing it for his own use, you know. I'm not saying that farmers would do anything to the food that they're going to sell, but would you take a lot more care with something if you knew you were going to be eating it? So we just dump our ground beef in there, and I already put a little bit of hot sauce. And for this, because it's ground meat, and when it grounds, it gets more surface area, more processing, more potential for contamination. That's why I'll eat my steak rare, but not my hamburger. I am going to use a little bit of cure, and this is enough cure for 25 pounds, so I'm just going to use a little. Just going to use a little, and what I'm going to do now is mix this up real good. And when I've done mixing it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to push it into my heavy duty jerky gun with the round tip, and then I'm going to shoot it out into tubes. So after I do all this boring mixing, we'll come back. Okay. So I've just got in here and just roughed it up with my hands, and I like to use one dirty and one clean because your hands get all greasy, kind of makes it hard. And all I'm doing is just making little balls and cramming them in my jerky gun. Air pockets and vacuum can make this kind of difficult. Now I've washed my hands so I could use both of them. I'm just going to use the I'm just going to cut out I'm doing this on a dish because I'm going to bake it. Right now I've got the oven preheating to about 250 degrees. And this is something that I do because I'm dealing with a raw hamburger, and I want to cook it till the internal temperature is at least 160 degrees to kill everything. Now this is kind of unnecessary because your dehydrator, or mine, dehydrates at 160 degrees, and there's no moisture, or there's little moisture that the bacteria is going to need to grow. However, I have people who like jerky, or like my jerky, but then when they found out it was raw hamburger, they didn't like it. So this is more me trying to be conscious of the desires, you know, of my friends. So you don't have to do it. So I'm going to fill it up, get another baking dish, do another one, put it in the oven, come back and let you see what it looks like before we put it in the dehydrator. Okay, so here they are. About 2 pounds of hamburger, made 2 trays of turkey. And we're just going to throw them in the oven. Not too long, about 10 minutes or so. Side benefit of this is pulls out a lot of the fat. Of course, you know, fat's what make meat taste good too, though. So, oh well. But that was my timer. I'm just going to, you know, move these out of the way so they don't, so the fat drains out of them now that they're hot. When they cool and my other jerky's done marinating, we'll put it in the dehydrator. Okay, so now we're going to take our strips and we're just going to put them in the dehydrator. Now, since this is grass-fed beef, it is a little leaner than most of the beef you're going to get.
Can I taste a piece?
Looks like she already has, because
Pretty good.
Alright, I got my trays loaded. I put the dehydrator top on. Plug that sucker in. Put it over on 160. And I'm just going to let that thing sit. And I'll come back and check it in a couple hours. But mostly I'm going to let this thing run for about 8 hours or overnight. And when it opens up, we'll let you see what the jerky looks like. So until in the morning. Okay, it's been about 8 hours. Let's unplug this thing and let's see what we got. Here's my sticks. Same thing. They're nice and dry, but they're not to the point where they are brittle. They too have a pretty nice flavor. It's not the same as the strips, but still pretty good. Alright, here's the final product. We used about 2 pounds of hamburger, and tastes pretty good. And I hope you enjoyed both our jerky making videos. You can always catch us online at www.tngun.com.